it is Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are back in the kitchen yet again. It feels like I have been out here all week. All week I've been in the kitchen, but we've done some DIYs, I've done some cleaning, I've done some decorating, and now I finally want to go through all of the cabinets. So we are actually planning to have our cabinets refaced and redoored, and kind of started that whole process. So it's really motivated me to go through and kind of just start fresh in our kitchen to a certain extent. Now, I am not going to kind of try to reinvent all of my kitchen organization, but there's definitely some cabinets that need a little bit of reorganization. I thought today we would go through all of my kitchen cabinets, pull everything out, wipe them down, get them all clean, and put in only the things that we are needing. So I thought I would take you along with me.
To tackle some of our drawers, I did pick up a few new organizers from Walmart, Target, I think that's it, but basically those two places, but they needed to be washed before I could use them. So that is the very first thing I started with, just washing all of the organizers. That way, as I kind of go through our kitchen, I can just grab them out of our sink as needed.
I don't believe, have me acting like a fool to know you. Got me wondering why you still giving me nothing, a whole lot of nothing, baby. Would've settled for something, but I'm giving in with the waiting for your darling a zero. No hint of a hero. Now you're selling me your stories, but I don't believe you. Every now and then you lose in life. What you're risking when you roll the dice. Now I'm gonna place the bet on me. I do believe you will learn what it's like to fail. Gave a little and far too late. Now it's time.
We do have two pantries. We have this barn door one that's in our kitchen area, and we also have a little closet kind of behind this pantry that I also use to store a lot of our food items. Today I'm only going to be showing you this one. This is our main one that we use all of the time, but it needs a little bit of help. Those top shelves have gotten a little bit out of control. And then as for these bottom ones, they aren't necessarily too bad, but I do want to pull everything out and just wipe down everything.
I do believe it. Yeah. I do believe it. Still you're giving me nothing, a whole lot of nothing, baby.
Last year, I shared a very similar video where I went through our pantry and reorganized everything, and honestly, that system has been working very well for us, and I'm not going to change it if it is working. You know, it's not Pinterest worthy by any means, but it definitely functions for our family of 6, and that is definitely what is important.
To think the world of you, but somewhere down the line we changed and we grew and we fell out of touch as time goes by. Still I'm holding on to.
If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Crystal. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids. As you can see, I have my 3 boys home with me today. We've been working on getting rid of some sickness that's been going around, but they are all about helping me, especially Ethan. He is always asking me what he can help me with, so I thought this was the perfect job to get everyone up and moving. As for wiping down all of the shelves, I am using the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface cleaner. It's definitely my go-to for my granite countertops and all of the surfaces basically in my kitchen I use it on. I'm using the peppermint scent, which was obviously a holiday scent, and I'm hoping to get rid of it very soon. And let me tell you, this is the easiest way to get rid of your cleaner, to just clean out all your cabinets and spray everything down. Now it is time to start adding everything back into the pantry, and I'm starting off with all of the things that I know I liked where they were at before. All of these pieces I'm adding to begin with, I actually picked up last year. I like to kind of do that each year. I will just add like a few new good solid pieces that I know will kind of stand the test of time and that we will use for many years to come. I think all 3 of those were from Target.
Like I used to do before.
On this little top shelf, I was storing canned foods, but I decided to take them all out and put in the foil and saran wrap, plastic bags, all of those items here, and it actually worked out really well. It kind of saved me having to buy another organizer. I've been loving that. All the canned foods actually moved into our little closet that is behind this, and I'm actually going to wait to share that whole closet with you when I do the full kitchen tour.
You started a fire somewhere deep in my mind. See the barbed wire, the place is grown all wide. 'Cause I don't know if it'll be enough, or if they really care. There's a stairway down for the both of us, but let's not go there. You got me thinking, whoa.
I'm adding one new addition to our pantry this year, and it is 2 little baskets that I'm going to put in the bottom there, but I really wanted to clear out this drawer that is in our dining area of the kitchen. It has a lot of like linens, tablecloths, that kind of thing, but I want to clear that out and use that more for like kids' art supplies and crafts and things like that. So putting those in the bottom there, and I still have one empty basket that I might use for produce. I'm still not sure, but it is good to have some empty space in there to grow. This cabinet right here is disgusting, and it is probably the most unorganized cabinet I own. It stores a lot of our large cutting boards and baking pans, even like my cooling racks are in there, but it's a nightmare trying to get out a pan. So I'm just going to pull everything out here, look at the items, anything that looks like it's like in really bad shape or rusted, I'm going to just go ahead and toss, and then we can wipe everything out.
Telling you, pack up your suitcase, we'll find a new place. We'll cross the border, can't stay no longer in this time. I don't wanna waste no time.
I ordered this organizer off of Amazon to tackle the cabinet, and let me just tell you, it is amazing. I did also see they have very similar ones at Walmart, but it's really nice because you can kind of align each slot to your size that you need for your pots and pans or whatever you want to use it for. So right now I'm just sticking in all of the items, and then once I actually put it in the cabinet, I can move and add things around, but it's amazing. I'm no longer like pinching my fingers when I go in there to grab anything. Highly recommend this organizer.
We'll cross the border, can't stay no longer in this town.
On the other side of our oven, I store our pots and pans, and honestly, this cabinet works for us as is. I know you can buy certain organizers to kind of like stack your pots and pans, but I just kind of felt it was a little bit unnecessary. So I'm just gonna wipe everything out and basically put everything back in.
Show you that I was a mess. So you were shrugging your shoulders and closed off. That's what I told you. Soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying high.
In our kitchen, we have 2 Lazy Susans, and these are like some of the most challenging things to store items in, I feel like. So our first one, I store a lot of like our mixing bowls, prep bowls, that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna pull everything out and wipe it down. We use all of these items, and so I'll just put them all right back in where they go. After a while, when you live with something, you just kind of get used to where it's at. So this was one of those things that we always reach for our bowls here, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And that's something that I would say if you are wanting to kind of go through and organize and clean out your kitchen. If something's working for you, even though it might not make the most sense, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever you're most comfortable with. I am going to find a new home for this bin. It has cookie cutters and some of my cake decorating supplies. I know I can find a better space for those. Next up is under our sink, and I'm honestly pretty happy with the organization that I have under here as well, but there are a few things I need to get rid of. All of these paper bags that I've just basically stored away. I don't use paper bags, so I'm going to bring most of them. I think I saved 1 or 2 in there just in case, but the rest of them are going to recycling. But I like my system that I have in here. I put all of kind of my go-to cleaning supplies for in the kitchen or around the house all under here. I think I did a video on this. It's been like 2 years, and I still like it like this. It's kind of an awkward space with our garbage disposal down there. Had to get kind of creative on what I'm doing, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Moving on to our other Lazy Susan, we store a lot of our like blender attachments, my crock pots in here, as well as our yogurt or ice cream maker, and it works well for us, so I'm going to keep all those appliances in here as well, just really wiping things down. Now, I did have some of our blender attachments in another cupboard, so I ultimately do end up moving some of those pieces back into here, so that was nice. And I ended up pulling out just a couple of things that I could find a better home for, like baby bibs. We don't use those anymore. Aprons. I have a better home for those. I've had these little triangle organizers for years. I think I picked them up when I was nursing and I needed a place to put all of the different things that go along with that. Obviously, I don't need that now, so it's kind of changed throughout the years as to what I store in here. But right now I have some of our pressure cooker accessories. And then in the other one, I decided to put our Ninja attachments. I was storing like baby bibs in them, and we clearly don't need those anymore. So nice to get those out of there. This one is kind of like my junk cabinet where I just keep a bunch of random things that don't fit elsewhere. Let me know if you have one of those cabinets. But I'm thinking about adding a little trash can in here, like a rollout one, instead of having our garbage can at the end of our peninsula. A lot of you said I should do that. I'm just not quite sure on the placement of it. This is like the only spot it would work. So let me know what you think of that. I am kind of 50-50 at this point. Moving on, this is our food storage container cabinet, I will call it. And back in November on Black Friday, I actually picked up all new like plasticware and glassware and really did a big clean out of this cupboard. You may have remembered that video. So I don't really need to purge anything right now. Everything's been working so well for us, but just as we use it over time, things get kind of tossed in there. And so I'm just going to pull everything out and reorganize it again the way it's supposed to be, wipe everything down, and we'll be done in here. But the little plastic baskets that I have in there, I found those at Walmart a few years ago. I love them. You can stack them if you need to, but they don't carry them anymore, which I'm so sad. These are probably some of my favorite little organizers I have.
It is now 1 o'clock and all the kids are down for their naps, so I'm going to hopefully tackle the rest of the kitchen, but I made a lot of progress. So you saw all of the bottom cabinets got tackled this morning, and I have all of my organizational pieces are all clean and ready to go for this afternoon. So I think what I'm gonna do is just work on now all of the drawers. I have a bunch of silverware. I have like oven mitts that just really needs to be wiped out. This one right here, I might try to do a little something with, but basically I just set out all of the little organizational pieces that I picked up kind of by their according drawers or areas, so I know like what needs to go where. And then the elusive junk drawer. I have kind of like 2 junk drawers. This one's more the junk drawer, that's more like random stuff. And then anyway, so I think we're gonna start with the drawers. Those need the most organizing, and then we'll finish up doing some of the upper cabinets as well.
This drawer is right under my coffee area that I have. It's a super small area, but since I'm the only one that drinks coffee, it works out just fine. But this drawer has kind of been a catch-all. I think I have a lot of catch-all drawers, I'm finding out. But we store our grilling utensils in here, or at least some of them. I store some of like my reusable K-cups, my spoon rest. It's kind of a random drawer, but I'm just so used to having these items in here that it works out for me. But I did find this little organizer at Target. It's one of those acrylic ones. I'm kind of tempted to go and get one more for the other side right there, so everything's kind of nestled in their spot.
I will get up again.
Let's talk oven mitts and pot holders. Clearly I have too many of them when they start kind of falling out when I open the drawer, and some of them even need a good washing. So I think I end up tossing like 3 of them, washing a few of them. But I'm going to be using my Shark handheld vacuum to get out all of the nasty crumbs that are in there. I don't know how that happens, but it does. And it's kind of embarrassing to show you this, but at least now it is clean.
Trying to fly 'cause I'm light as a feather, but I get high, I get low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine, but I get up, I always do. I never.
Our silverware drawer has kind of been a combination of our everyday like spoons and forks. I also have like some things that are more sharp that I don't want the kids to be able to reach in other drawers, like our vegetable peelers, can opener, pizza cutters. Those kind of end up in this drawer too. Kind of random probably, but it's just been working for us. So I'm going to keep a lot of those things in here, but I did find I think like 5 like bottle openers, definitely unnecessary. I can't even remember the last time we used one of them, so I ended up I think tossing all but one of them and replacing our little silverware tray with this little acrylic one from Target. I decided to switch out our white one that was it was really nasty, not kind of nasty, it was pretty nasty. And then I got this acrylic one, and it's going to match the other one that I already had in there that has all of our serving utensils.
Heard you blow my reputation, but I figured it's not on me. Yeah. The way you're making me shiver, your hands on myself, I keep pulling the trigger, right? This rare finger for people like them. Oh no. Well, darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky. Oh, it's the way you make me feel so good right now. It's the way you make me feel so good.
I wish this drawer was larger to hold all of the other utensils that you need to use in the kitchen. I feel like that's where our kitchen lacks a little bit, but I feel like we kind of all wish that our kitchen was a little bigger. But this drawer has always been a challenge to me as far as fitting in like tongs and spatulas and turners, I think you call it, measuring spoons. I do actually have two drawers that hold those types of items. This one holds kind of our main go-to ones that I use all the time. And then in the next one, I have like some more like awkward size things. I cannot explain to you my thinking behind it other than to me, it feels organized.
Around me like a borderline, our fortress in the jungle, baby, we're alright. We don't care much for people like them. We don't care much for people like them. But darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now.
Do not, I repeat, do not let me buy any more Valentine's Day towels. I have too many. And this drawer will barely open and close without towels getting stuck. But in this drawer, I store basically all our kitchen towels and washcloths that I use, and I have too many in here. So what I'm doing is just pulling everything out and sorting into different piles. Toss anything that's still in good shape, but maybe just kind of a little bit gross or stained, I go and put in our laundry room and use those as cleaning towels. But I did get rid of quite a few things in here, so my drawer will now close properly.
And open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you feel.
Junk drawer. Everyone has one, right? At least that's what I tell myself, but ours has gotten a little bit out of hand. It definitely needs to be decluttered and reorganized in here. Our whole family is guilty of just tossing random things in here, but I would say I specifically probably do the most. If I find like a game piece or just random small things on our floor, I'll just throw them in the junk drawer and then it's there if we ever need to grab it, which is probably not the right mentality. So cleaning out the junk drawer, I feel like needs to be almost like a monthly task. So I might try to make myself a reminder on this one. But I did pick up some new bins from Walmart. They are called flex bins and they're actually really cool. They have some flexibility. They remind me kind of like silicone, but not as flexible as that. I don't know, but they work well and they fit this drawer perfectly. It's just a matter of figuring out which goes in which compartment. I'm sticking with the basics, cut down on the amount of pens, pencils, and anything that's going back into this drawer, and it's been working so well. Macy, who is my 8-year-old, she has made so many comments when she opens this drawer. Mom, I just really love this so much. So that makes me feel good, and I feel like it is something right in this drawer. Have 2 junk drawers, maybe 3. I don't even know what to call this drawer, but I store like chip clips. We have like our gift cards to restaurants and coupons, and Ziplocs are even in here. We had straws, which we really don't even use those anymore. So I'm not sure still after organizing all of the things what I'm calling this drawer, other than it stores random stuff that doesn't go anywhere else. I like to have like some Ziplocs in here just to quickly grab if I'm packing like a lunch or something like that. And then we're just so used to having the other things in here that I decided not to change it up, but just to organize it a little bit better.
I'm on my way now.
We are on the home stretch with children's utensils, maybe a year or two left. So I didn't go out and buy new organizers for this drawer, just planning to keep it as is for now, and then we can reevaluate when we don't need them anymore. But I'm going to just use the same organizers, the Dollar Tree ones that I had in there, but they definitely needed to be clean. This one's in a really good spot, whereas if the kids are sitting at the counter eating, which is where we eat a majority of our meals, it's just easy to grab it right there and hand it to the kids, and they are familiar and comfortable having it there. So I'm not going to change anything in here, just give it a good cleaning.
I don't want to be dragged in a box. I just wanna go my own way. 'Cause I am on my way.
Now it is time to tackle the upper cabinets. Now in these cabinets, I'm not necessarily going to reorganize anything. It's just a matter of pulling everything out and wiping it down and putting it all back in its place. But of course you do find a few things here and there that maybe you don't need anymore or use, which is, I feel like, always the case with me. I tell myself I don't have anything to clutter, and then I find like 3 or 4 things. But this is our kids cabinet. It stores all of like their cups and bowls. For the most part, that's it. My husband, I think, has a few things in here. But I'm just going through, I'm tossing these plates. They are super old, scraped up, and seen better days. I found those at Target. They were like 59 cents a piece. I don't know why it took me so long to do that, but the kids love those new plates. So I think I threw out a few cups, and putting everything back, we'll move on to the next cupboard. This corner cabinet is huge. It does not look like it because the door isn't as large, but you can pack a lot of things in here, which is what I did, and I was least looking forward to pulling all of these things out. But I store like our smaller colanders in here, measuring cups, my apple peeler is up here so the kids can't reach it. Just a bunch of random things in that bottom shelf. The middle one, I have a bunch of tumblers. I end up getting rid of a few of those. Wine glasses are in here for now, but they'll probably make their way back to the sideboard in a couple years. I had to move them up when the twins were born. I was just so afraid they were going to get in there and break all of my glasses. So those have been placed up there for now, but I think once I move those, I'll free up a bunch of space in there. In the top shelf, I have like mixer attachments and extra cups that I use like when the kids are doing arts and crafts. It's a bunch of random stuff, honestly. I did get rid of, like I said, a few things to kind of free up some space, but I feel like I can do better, so I might have to go back on a different day and just try to pare it down even a little bit more.
We've got a fire in the tent. It's 5:30 a.m. Let's be the kids who left, get in trouble again. That stuff's got nothing on you. That was brand new, still it's got nothing on you tonight. We could get back to this, catching up what we missed, or we could just relive that summer night.
In my last video, I asked you all if you store your baking supplies in your cabinet or if you do in your pantry, and a majority of you said your pantry. So I think I've made it a goal that next year I'm going to invest in some really nice flour, sugar containers and move them over to my pantry. But for now, I don't mind them here. So really all I'm going to do in our spice cabinet and baking cabinet, I call it, is take it all out and wipe everything down. Now my husband, he loves to like grill things and smoke things, and his fingers, they're always so sticky and he gets things all gross in here. So I'm just wiping everything down. I even decide to pour out like all of my flour and sugar into little bowls so I can wash these storage containers that they are in, especially after the holidays and all the baking. They really needed a good cleaning.
Times another drink and I'll go anywhere. The way you smell, like a flash in the universe. You are illuminating. I don't really care about the people in the bar. Like I don't really mind all the who goes doing stage dives. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world.
There's lots of different organizers you can buy for your spices, but I decided to keep the one I had, which is a wire one. I cannot remember, I've had it for a while, where it's from. But I like this because you can actually store things underneath it. You aren't limited to just on top of it. So I just tucked in a few things that we weren't using on a daily basis underneath there, and organizing the spices kind of in a priority order, where the ones on the way back maybe I will use like more seasonally in the fall and winter, and then the ones towards the front I use in some of my everyday cooking that I do. In this little turntable, I put a lot of my hubby's grilling seasonings and spices that he uses, along with like the garlic salts and things. It's really nice for him to just kind of spin it around and see which one he wants to use.
I mean to show you, I will never let you go. No, 'cause you don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me.
I had to take a little break from organizing yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the whole story why, but sick kiddos, that's all I need to say. But starting new, and honestly, it actually, I feel like worked out well, because I was done. Like I just needed some rest, and so it worked out in the end. But now I have, I think, like 3 cabinets left to go, doing this one above the microwave. We store our vinegar and oils, and my husband also keeps like his protein powder up there. So I threw out a few oils that were expired and moved on to the coffee cabinet. Now this just really needed a good cleaning. I think there were a few things that I ended up moving to our pantry closet area, but otherwise I'm just going to wipe it all down.
Stay here with me. I'm trying to make it up for my mistakes, but everywhere I turn some hearts will break. Someone will end up getting hurt again.
I think I said this earlier in the video, but you know, it's not pretty. A lot of the cabinets aren't pretty. Like, they don't have a bunch of amazing organizers, but they definitely work for us, and this cabinet just makes me happy. Originally, when I started working on our cabinets, I wasn't even going to touch these, but I decided I just wouldn't feel like done with this whole task unless I cleaned out these cabinets as well. But these are obviously our plates and bowls, dishes, glasses that we use on a daily basis, so it does make sense to clean them out. Now, I am a Fiesta ware collector, so I'm not planning to declutter much in here. There are a couple of mugs that I do end up getting rid of, but just like some of my other cabinets, I'm just giving them a good wipe down, and that's really all they need.
Why don't you stay, oh stay, 'cause I could really use a friend. Why don't you stay, please stay, 'cause my heart really... We run away, so get us up when we're low. Just chase the waves, we'll make it up.
Right now, I am going to super glue the little piece that has been falling off of the shelf. It's been driving me absolutely bonkers for years, and I decided I'm up here, I'm just going to do it. I even ended up super gluing my fingers together, but anyways, that's fixed and I feel so much better about that. But if you've been watching closely, I skipped over a cabinet, the one that is above our refrigerator. And the whole reason behind that is because we cannot even open those cabinet doors. The hinges on a refrigerator actually block it. So when they come to resurface and reface all of our cabinets, that is definitely something they are going to be fixing so we can use that storage.
Don't get in our way, 'cause we won't waste more time. We will go our way until we go flatline. Nothing in our way until we go flatline.
Our Fiesta dishes are like my pride and joy. I've honestly gone back and forth if I should pare down the amount of plates or bowls that I store in this cupboard. But I just love the rainbow of colors all together. It just makes me so happy when I open it each day. We use it all the time, obviously. But I hope someday that I will be able to maybe pass down some of them to our kids and they can treasure them. But I just love this cabinet so very much. But now that the cabinets are all finally cleaned out and wiped down and organized, I'm just going to clean off the countertops one last time with any crumbs or anything that fell. And I'm going to call this project done.
Even if I lose my ground, I won't let it hold me down. We will go our way until we go flatline. Don't get in our way, 'cause we won't waste more time.
Right, my friends, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe even found a little bit of motivation to go through some of your cabinets, clean them out, maybe just give them a little organizational refresh like I did today. I will be sharing a complete kitchen tour, including our little like walk-in pantry closet, the sliding barn door pantry, and our kitchen once all of the cabinet doors are refaced. So be on the lookout for a more like a spring kitchen tour, and I will walk you through everything and share it all with you then. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.